Hello and welcome to what is this? Two guys, one cup. Round 18 tips.
We've
I'm Charlie
broken
Clausen.
ourselves. I'm Will
Oh, it's
Anderson.
been
Oh,
a
you
very
normally
tough night.
introduce me, but it's been a tough night of recording on this Thursday morning.
Thursday. We've had a good look at the team sheets. We've got all the
Yeah,
injury reports.
as
We got the
usual,
news from the
the absolute
tribunal.
latest in tips.
So we're going to give our tips. We're going to get this done quickly because
Um,
we've had a tough night.
yeah, no, we have had a tough night, but look, I'm up to date on all the football because at the moment I'm watching the bounce on silent, and they're showing someone wrestle a giant fish. So I think I'm fine.
Is that true?
Yep.
Oh my God. First game, Thursday night, the Western Bulldogs taking on the
Yes.
Sydney Swans at the SCG, a road
Danger
trip for
game.
the Dogs, coming off a loss to Collingwood. Could be a danger game. Swans have actually had been in better form since West Coast. They're unlucky to lose against the Tigers. Who wins this game, Will?
Well, I'm going to hope it's the Western Bulldogs because this is William James Anderson's first game of AFL football
Oh,
since the
awesome.
pandemic. So I am going
Hey,
along.
and members like some kind of corporate box, the ABC have known for their lavish corporate boxes. You're getting treated like royalty.
No, I'm actually going just like I didn't even reach out to the Bulldogs. Like I'm going with my mate Sam. He's not a Bulldogs fan. That's how I refer to the opposition when we're playing the opposition. No, so yeah, we're just gonna go and sit in the outer and have a good time at the footy,
Well,
hopefully.
you tell me,
Yeah.
when was the last time you went to a game at the SCG?
Oh, I mean, years ago.
Okay, great. So, I've had this beef with the Swans all year, and it was
Yes.
based on a recent experience at the SCG.
Mm,
So, especially if the Bulldogs lose, I will be interested
mm.
to get your take. Maybe my beef has been squashed, but yours will be, what's the opposite of squashed?
Mm,
Engorged? You'll
and
engorge your beef.
my beef will be engorged. Yes, that's
Okay. Well, I'm tipping the Swans because I want to see your beef engorged.
well, I don't want to see my beef engorged. I want to see my beef stay squashed. The Bulldogs.
Friday night, the Demons, top four Demons. It's a top four clash. Demons
Yep.
taking on the Brisbane Lions, a fourth
Yep.
places third, but it's at the MCG where traditionally the
Oh,
Lions don't play very well. Melbourne were terrible against the Saints, and
yeah.
I don't want to oversell it, but they were
Mm,
so lucky to win that game. If it
yeah.
wasn't for Christian Petrarca, it looks like Clayton Oliver's not going to be back in time. I mean, of course,
Mm.
we've got the latest medical information.
Yeah, yeah, he'll be. But also, that really helps with Clayton Oliver because one day he's training the house down, the next day he's in hospital, then he's snuck out of the hospital for a jog, then he's like his legs falling off. Like,
You didn't
I
see because you didn't watch the Saints Demons game,
no,
but he was there, Oliver, and he
uh,
was in his full
mm,
playing kit. He had his boots on, he had the
yeah,
training guernsey on and his shorts. They cut the vision of him at halftime, like doing these little sort of like hip thrusts or whatever.
mm,
And they were talking about it like it's great, it gets him part of the game. But to me, he seemed like a make a wish kid.
yeah,
Like that brought along. You can run through the banner, you can like hold a footy. It's just like I don't
yeah.
know
You can
that.
even wear your boots if you want it.
Yeah, that's no point. Like, just rest. Shouldn't he be resting?
Yeah, it does seem weird. Like normally the players who aren't playing, they like sit in the coach's box or they're in like a suite or something. He's dressed up
He's
like he
yeah,
could
he's half
play.
time in the change rooms. Like, what's going on?
That is weird. Um, I, I mean, and Brisbane obviously just such a terrible record at the MCG, but such
I
is my.
reckon this is a perfect game for them to brush that hoodoo aside.
Do you
Vulnerable Melbourne at home.
really?
Yeah, I think this is to me. This has like big win to the Lions all over it.
Okay, well,
Demons are in
nothing.
trouble, I reckon.
Yeah, okay. Oh, Lions are just no good at the MCG though. Like this seems like one. Anyway, okay. You know what? Because I want to see it, I'm going to say that Brisbane, yes, are going to snap their hoodoo at the MCG and they're going to win.
If the Lions lose this game, then they can't win the grand final. That's my my
That is a hot take.
volcano hot take.
Yeah.
Because Melbourne are the weakest of the top four
Mm,
teams, and they're the weakest by a fair margin.
yeah.
If the Lions can't get it done, then
I reckon
the
there's two other reasons they can't win the grand final, and they might be called Collingwood and Port Adelaide.
Speaking of one of those teams,
Uh-huh.
on Saturday, the Pies host the Dockers. They should be called the disappointing
Mm.
Dockers. That's what I'm relabeling them. Take that.
The
City
bloody
of Fremantle.
Shockers, if you know what
Bloody
I'm
Shockers,
saying.
mate. Just so insipid against Carlton. Who knows? They've
Terrible.
had like 3 good games of the year.
Mm,
We all thought they were back, but they're not. And
they're
Collingwood on
not.
the MCG is going to dismantle them.
Ooh, I mean, you'd think so, right?
Yeah. Can't wait to see what Nick Dacos does. Can't wait to them cutting to Peter Dacos doing a little dancing, a little jig in the stands.
Might be the first time in Brownlow history they give someone 6 votes.
Yeah.
They might just give him all, like, they might just go, you got the 3, the 2, and the 1 vote.
We're both picking the Pies in that game. Suns
Uh-huh.
hosting the Saints at Heritage Bank Stadium at
Oof.
2:10 p.m.
Ooh.
Two clubs that are in a world of hurt.
Ooh.
I mean, the Suns should win this. In fact, looking at the
Mm.
odds, they are way out in front, which makes sense
Yeah.
because they haven't lost any players.
They're good there.
And they're good at home. And the Saints are just, our season is sputtering. We have no tools to bring in. Zane Cordy needed in the head.
Yes, that's
Max
right.
King out. Josh Battle may still be out with concussion as well. So we have no forward line.
How often have the Kings played against each other, by the way?
More than the Mackays.
Yeah, but not that much, right?
No,
because
not that much.
they both had like different
injured.
injuries at different. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. I think the Suns will win this game.
I think, firstly, controversial idea, but I think clearly what we're learning about the Kings is that one's got to be the main king, and then we've got to just keep the other one for spare parts. We cannot have 2 kings.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
I think the Suns, unfortunately, Charlie. I think the Suns will win.
Okay, Carlton on a 3-game winning streak, taking on Port Adelaide at Marvel Stadium. They'll fucking win this. You watch.
I mean, imagine
Carlton will win this and
if
get their
Carlton
fans
beat
so
Port
excited.
Adelaide.
No,
they could.
It's at Marvel.
No, but that's what I mean. But if they beat them, like just the idea of actually just beating them, like, because that would be the end of the streak, right?
Yeah,
and it would be Carlton, and then it would just get their hopes up.
I mean,
right? That'd suddenly be, that would be perfect. So the good news is that's an upside if what I think is the actual result doesn't happen, which is that Port Adelaide will win because they're good at Marvel.
I'm going to tip Carlton. I think that I want this fairy tale finish
to come true. I want you to be right.
Well, that's my luck of the week. Saturday night, the Cats back at GMHBA Stadium. Have begun their residency, and they are taking on the Bombers, which I reckon the Bombers are a speaky chance here.
Yeah, I reckon.
The kind of form that both teams are in, I reckon the Bombers. I'm going to tip the Bombers quite confidently.
Wow.
Bombers win that.
I'm going to tip Geelong because it's in Geelong.
Happening on the other side of the border, the Crows are hosting the Giants at Adelaide Oval. Back home, though.
Yeah,
back home. Can't tip against them. Love the Giants, but they're not going to win that game. But what if they do, Will?
What if they do? They won't, though. But what if they do?
But what if they do? Sunday, North Melbourne, Marvel Stadium hosting Hawthorn. Didn't they almost beat them? No, they didn't.
I mean, you know what? North Melbourne were really not that good today.
Yeah.
But Hawthorn, I think, are a considerably better team.
And they'll have Sicily back, I believe. They'll be Sicily full.
So, you know what? It's unlikely that North will win, but I'm just, you know what? Brett Ratton deserves one.
He does.
Because if he doesn't win this one, they're going to sack him as interim coach. So
awful.
Imagine that. Imagine if he goes, I mean, so you know what? I want
so awful.
I want to see Brett Ratton at least have one win as the coach of Melbourne, and it's going to be this, and that is my lock of the week.
Did that make no sound, or I just didn't hear it? It was weird. Go.
Lock of the week.
I can't hear it. Go to do it again.
Lock of the week. Am I a ghost?
I don't know if Zoom has a like a limiter or something, but it was muting your claps. I couldn't hear your lock. I'm wondering if people at home will be able to hear. Will, trust me, he was clapping his hands together. If you're watching the video,
they hurt now. I clapped him harder the second time.
The last game is the Eagles hosting the Tigers at Optus Stadium. The Tigers win that game.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
That's our tips.
That's our tips. Hope your team wins. Play on, not 15.
Bo.